Hi everyone, I'm Hayden, and today I will be taking a look at the Transformers Titanium series Ultra Magnus. This figure is obviously from the Transformers Titanium line, where all the figures have die-cast metal parts. It's known for bad joint tolerances, bad transformations, and a lot of assembly mistakes. The reason for this is because the figures were not made by Hasbro or Takara. They were instead made by Galoob, the company behind Micro Machines. And Ultra Magnus here has pretty much all of the problems I listed. But before we talk about those, let's look at his robot mode. And it looks alright. I'm a really big fan of Ultra Magnus's design, and this figure does capture his G1 design pretty well, but it definitely has some problems. For one thing, the colors are slightly off than what I'm used to. I prefer Ultra Magnus with a darker shade of blue, but here it's a bit too bright for me. And a lot of the white plastic looks like it would yellow as soon as I take it out of the box. His head is also way too small. And I don't like the face sculpt either. I can't really tell what his mouth is supposed to be. From far away, it looks like he's gritting his teeth, but when you take a closer look, you just can't really tell what's supposed to be going on there. The head is also made of this weird squishy material, and it just makes me uncomfortable. His proportions are also really weird. His shoulder towers go up way too high and are really thin, and his shoulders are all the way back here for some reason. Something else I'm a bit disappointed in is the fact that there isn't really a lot of die-cast metal. The only parts that are metal are his chest and also the insides of his legs. I was hoping there'd be a bit more. It does make him pretty heavy though. And speaking of his chest, this figure has a kind of play feature. His chest piece can lift up. Normally this would be where you store the matrix of leadership, but the space is so small I don't think anything could fit in there. For accessories, Ultra Magnus comes with his gun. He can hold it, but the way he holds it is more like a traditional action figure. It doesn't actually plug into his hand, so it does fall out a lot. He also comes with his shoulder cannons. But because of a mistake in the assembly or design of the arms, they attach upside down. You can take the arms off and swap some pieces around pretty easily, but I've heard that these shoulder ball joints are some of the loosest in all Transformers, so popping the arms out is probably not a good idea. And finally, he comes with a base. It has a removable nameplate, which is neat, I guess. And he doesn't actually plug into the base, he just kind of stands on it. Ultra Magnus's articulation is actually terrible. The arms are alright, but they are lacking a bicep swivel. He has a ball jointed head and even a waist swivel. But for some reason the waist swivel is like super tight. Like there's no reason it needs to be this tight. And the joints in his hips are fine if a little bit too tight, but the knees are just terrible. They're literally backwards. They actually bend more this way than they do the normal way. And surely someone must have realized when they were making the figure that the knees are just the wrong way around. And his feet are just completely flat on the ground. There's no kind of tilt or anything, so he literally has to just stand straight up and down. But really, that is the only pose you can really get him in anyway. Transformation is pretty simple and similar to other Ultra Magnus figures, and I actually really like this truck mode. It's very cute. It's literally just a mini Ultra Magnus. The front cab is super tiny and looks really silly. His legs and blue underwear are super visible in this mode, but that's really the only kibble. It isn't perfect. The arms don't plug in at all. They just kind of hang on there. And also the truck cab is actually just attached to the trailer, so it can't swivel at all and steer. And the main problem is that the legs have a really hard time staying put together. These tabs just don't want to stay. There's also nowhere to put the gun. The weird thing about the trailer is that there's these flaps here. There isn't really a purpose for them, and they just kind of do that. I don't know. Overall, Titanium Ultra Magnus is not really a good figure, but I still like it a lot. I've always liked weird, janky figures from this era of Transformers, and this is definitely up there with the jankiness. I also just really like Ultra Magnus. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and comment what you think I should review in the future.